Today we're gonna be rating good and terrible accents of British actors doing or trying to do American accents. Hi, hello, welcome everyone. We're gonna watch a video today of the channel called Lost in a Pond, a really good channel when it comes to entertaining and funny videos about the UK, about everything UK, and today we're gonna be talking about actors, British actors who are trying to do an American accent. I know of American actors who were trying to do a UK accent, a British accent, which worked for me as a non-native speaker really well, but when I talked to actual UK people, they told me, like, I am talking, for example, about the character Spike on Buffy. It's an American actor and he tried to do the British accent. I mean, he learned from the best. He learned from Anthony Stewart Head, rest in peace, by the way, unfortunately. But he learned from him and he got better over time. But when he first started, his accent was really bad. And that's what people from the UK have told me. Because when I heard him talk in British, I didn't really notice any difference. But then again, I'm a foreigner, so I can't judge that. But today we're going to be talking about British actors trying to do an American accent, which from my perspective, I feel like that's easier than the other way around. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're a native speaker, but I think that trying to do an American accent would be easier than trying to do a British accent as an American actor. At least for me it is. I mean, my accent personally is all over the place because sometimes it sounds more Americanish and sometimes it sounds more British. I feel like every day it's a little different. But if I were to try and do one of those two accents, I'd go with the American one because that's much easier for me. Now let's see who those actors are and how good they are in doing an American accent.
Hi. As a former stage actor and occasional dialect coach, I often get asked which British actors are the best at doing American accents. And recently, while watching the conclusion to Stranger Things, a show that features several British actors, it forced my brain to return to this very topic. And today, I'm going to show you examples, some good, some not so good, of times that British actors try to hoodwink American audiences. So, if you're fanatical about British versus American cultural comparisons, and you haven't yet subscribed to this channel,
American.
do that now.
There you go. I have no idea.
In the meantime, Ewan McGregor.
I called everywhere in 5 states. I told them it was the only way to get my wife to marry me. I have the rest of my life to find out.
It's a tough one.
Ewan McGregor is British? Oh, what? Ewan McGregor is British? See, I have absolutely no clue this video is so much needed for me. However, I do think that his accent there wasn't really good, judging by a person who has no idea. So please take that with a grain of salt. It's just an opinion, doesn't mean anything. Let's listen to what he says about that.
McGregor.
I called everywhere in 5 states.
Nah.
I told them it was the only way to get my wife to marry me. I have the rest of my life to find out.
It's a tough
Is this an attempt to try and do a Southern American accent? Because it feels like he tried to do that. Not a normal American accent, but... And also it feels like the way he just sounded there is exactly the way our teacher described us how we were to speak an American or a more American accent. She said that if you speak British English, you just speak British English. But if you were to translate it into American accent English, just try and simulate you chewing a gum while speaking. That's how you get to the American accent. That's exactly what she said. She's like, okay, in English, for example, the dog has crossed the street. In American, put the chewing gum in like, the dog has crossed the street. This was really bad. What a bad example. Please don't quote me on this. The dog has crossed the street. That was so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to American people, to British people. But that's what she told us to do. And I feel like he kind of tried to do the same in that clip because it sounds a little roar, 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 you know? Like as if he tried to chew an imagined chewing gum while doing this scene.
I love Ewan McGregor. I even love the film Big Fish. Massive fan. But
Never
as I
seen
was
it.
watching it, I did get the impression that this wasn't his real accent. And I don't know if it's just because I've seen him fight Anakin Skywalker as Obi-Wan Kenobi and speak like Alec Guinness. But some of that's coming through, I think, in his accent. I mean, go back just a second ago.
I'll have the rest of my life to find out.
I think he almost gives up at the end of that sentence and goes back into Obi-Wan Kenobi, even though he's Scottish. I mean, I think it is a valiant attempt at doing it, because whenever American or British actors try to do regional accents from the other country, we usually completely butcher it. He at least has most of the vowel sounds down. And also, if I was too harsh to him, I'd be a complete hypocrite.
Well, you don't want to find yourself out there in the woods alone at night, Lawrence.
But I think pound for pound, I'd probably give you a 6 out of 10. Is that too generous, Southerners? Let me know in the comments below.
This is a rescue. I'm helping you escape. Can you fly a TIE fighter? What? No. I'm breaking you out. Can you fly a TIE fighter?
I went to see this at the cinema and I had
sounded
no
American
idea
to
that
me.
John Boyega was an English actor.
Yeah,
And it was kind
sounded
of strange
really
in
good.
a way, because it's like he's in a galaxy far, far away. There's absolutely no real reason for him to play with an American accent when he's British.
True.
Except for the fact that he's on the side of the resistance in a film franchise that prefers lending voices like mine to the villains. That said, because I walked out of the cinema not having a clue that he wasn't American, I think he probably did a very good job with
He
the
did.
accent. And I think the mistake that a lot of British people make is that they try to overdo the R's in car. And I think he doesn't. He speaks at a sort of at a rapid pace.
I'm helping you escape. Can you fly a TIE fighter?
And he just seems like an American
Sounds
actor.
really
So
good,
I think
yeah.
I'd give this maybe 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
of course,
it's true.
unlike your average Hollywood star, I don't have a personal trainer to help me achieve my New Year's resolutions. Sure, I may have just quit deep-fried food for 2026, but given my busy schedule, I don't always have time to cook.
He says
That's
it
where
both
Factor comes in.
ways.
Factor
He
delivers
says
fresh, never frozen,
schedule and
chef-crafted,
schedule.
dietitian-approved meals
Oh,
straight to
okay.
your door. And they're
Those
ready
are
to
in
eat
England
just
as
2
well.
minutes. It just means I have more time for important
the
things like
UK.
writing, editing, or returning
I don't know
unwanted
where he
Christmas
films this
gifts.
video, to be
and
honest.
everything is designed to support real routines, not just some stupid rules. Obviously,
We
I've
have
been
those
leaning
in
toward their
Germany as well.
high-protein options,
Is
many
it
of which
Prep My
deliver 30
Meal?
grams or more
don't
of
know.
complete protein. And everything is designed to support real routines, not complicated rules. I heat it, eat it, and get on with my day. Factor offers plans
I
like
love
high protein,
cooking too
calorie
much.
smart, GLP-1 support, low carb, and more. So you can choose something
Also, this
that fits
isn't
your
the
life
real
instead
portion,
of giving
is
in
it?
to fried chicken.
I'd be still
Head to
hungry.
factor75.com
Oh,
or click the link
Factor75.
below
No, I
and
don't
use
know
the
that
code
company.
LITPFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box plus
Okay.
free breakfast for 1 year. That's code LITPFB50 at
Never
factor75.com
heard
to
of
get
that
50%
company.
off plus free breakfast.
Okay,
for
let's
1 year.
continue with the
What's this?
video.
Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. The link is in the description below.
David, sacrifice is to get anything of value, you have to sacrifice. Nothing that has meaning is easy. Easy doesn't enter into grown-up life.
And here, in this film, he's
Sounded
supposed to
really
be
good.
from Chicago, which is where I live. And I don't hear too many people speaking like that. I think it's inconsistent. He goes in and out. When he says the word value, it just goes all English.
To get anything of value,
This is something that,
Oh,
on the other
yeah.
side of the coin, American
Okay,
actors often
I've
do
heard
when they're doing
it.
British accents. They get a lot of the things down about how we speak, but there'll be certain vowel sounds that they just cannot let go of, or they can't even hear. I remember when Daniel Craig went on Colbert to tell him that you're saying my name wrong.
Daniel Craig.
Ooh, I hear the difference. That is subtle.
So I think that a lot of the time,
I
that's
don't
part
think
of the
that's
problem. The
subtle,
good
to
thing,
be
though,
honest.
with Michael Caine is he gets away with it because he's
Craig
Michael
and
Caine.
Look,
Craig.
man, I'm telling you right off the bat, I'm high maintenance, so I'm not gonna tiptoe around your marriage or whatever it is you got going there. If you want to be with me, you're with me.
I think the biggest compliment that I
That
can give
was
to Kate
good.
Winslet is that she sounds more American than Jim Carrey. That's because he's Canadian. And I think that when you listen to each and every one of the vowel sounds, because I think she more or less uses all of them in that, there's a distinction between how she would speak those with her natural British accent and how Americans would say them. And I think she mostly lands it pretty much perfectly. I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, she'd already had some experience playing an
Yeah.
old money American in Titanic. She basically is American at this point. But I would give Dame Kate, she's not been knighted, but probably should be, probably 10.
I know that, thank you. It's your question. It's not properly phrased.
Do you understand what I'm getting at?
I do.
Then why don't you answer it
Because
that
I
way?
don't like your phrase, having anything to do with the Communist Party, because Robert never had anything to do with the Communist Party as such.
So here, Emily Blunt is playing Kitty Oppenheimer, the wife of Oppenheimer, and at first was unsure of what I was listening to in terms of an accent until I realised, oh, she's doing old money. She's doing mid-Atlantic American English.
3 months ago, I was 40 years old. 40.
The accent then of Prestige. The mid-Atlantic accent is very similar in nature to received pronunciation British English. So you could argue that it's cheating, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's easy for British people to mimic Americans using an accent that's mimicking a British accent. It's hard for us to find those nuances, those parts of the accent that aren't the same as British English. I think, Emily, you get 9.8, which is still really good.
9.8.
Don't come at me in the comments, Blunt.
Which brings us once again to the urgent realization of just how much there is still left.
Lily is just scratching her cat tree. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're trying to get into my video, are you? Are you? Do you want to say hi to the people? You come on over here. You come on over here. Go. Say hi to the people. Now the camera is over there. What do you have? No. Wait, where is it? Okay. Say hi to the people. Hi. Say hello. Oh, she's... Can you hear that? She's like... purring. No. Okay. You can go. But don't scratch your cat tree until I finish the video. Okay? Okay. 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 I'm sorry for that interruption. I'm sorry, we're gonna go back.
Comments, Blunt.
Which brings us once again to the urgent realization of just how much there is still left to own. Item 6 on the agenda, the meaning of life.
Hang on, I'm going to pause. Did he just say agenda with an R on it? Okay, so there are
kinda.
examples of words in this country that don't have R's in which some Americans will pronounce an R. An example of this is the word wash or toilet. Some people in America, in certain regions and of certain generations, might pronounce these words as wash and toilet. But
What?
I'd be amazed
toilet.
if the meaning of life had that as
I
part
think
of
I've heard
their
that before.
agenda in this scene.
And
so I think
gender.
he's doing here what I did when I first did an American accent on stage. I had the word sauce, as in tomato sauce, in my script. And the way I pronounced it is how Americans would pronounce the
Sauce.
word sauce, as in news sauce. Pass me the tomato sauce. This is instead of saying it the way
Sauce.
Americans usually do.
Sauce.
Now, Harry, you've had some thoughts on this.
Wait a sec, he pronounces Harry as Harry instead of Harry.
Some energies have a spiritual source which act upon a person's soul.
Hang on, whoa, he just said the word sauce. I
Yeah,
think, didn't
he
A
did.
spiritual sauce.
Is he saying sauce? He
Sauce.
definitely means
He said
sauce.
sauce.
I can't believe he did the
Didn't
reverse
he?
of what I did. Now you might say, Lawrence, you're taking Monty Python way too seriously. I think it's a good point. I think when a bad accent turns up in comedy, it almost adds to the comedy, so I'm not unhappy. I'll give them a bit of leniency and give them 3 out of 10.
Well, sometimes doctors make mistakes. Anna, you have to try twice as hard to fix them. Are you using your inhaler? You sure you're using it right? Why don't you show me how your inhaler works?
So this is Hugh Laurie as Dr. House, and when I first...
I love Hugh Laurie. I love Dr. House so much. It's such a cool show. I love the sarcasm in it. I have heard Hugh Laurie speaking like his real voice, his real accent a few weeks ago. YouTube showed me all of these videos with British actors. All of a sudden, my landing page was full of British actors. And I'm like, oh, that's Hugh Laurie. I've never heard his real voice. And I clicked on it and I'm like, wait, this guy's British too? Like, what the heck? I had no idea. I've watched all of Dr. House in English, in the original language, but I had no clue up until the end of the show that he was British. But then again, I wasn't into this whole learning about the languages and the differences between American and British accents. I don't know if I would like see it if I were to watch the whole show again. Maybe from time to time with simple words here and there where it's like, okay, he slipped up a little. I don't know. But this one sounded real American to me. Okay, let's go back real quick.
Sometimes doctors make mistakes. Anna, you have to try twice as hard to fix them. Are you using your inhaler? You sure you're using it right? Why don't you show me how your inhaler works?
So this is Hugh, Laurie as Dr. House. And when I first moved to America in 2008, a lot of people would tell me, did you know that the guy who plays Dr. House is British? And I said, yes. We all knew Hugh Laurie decades before you Americans because of Blackadder, because of Jeeves and Wooster. And it was as much a surprise to me that he was cast in a very popular show in America in the lead role. It's the subtle things that he does really well. Firstly, he's got this sort of gravelly cadence that really helps to sell a leading man's accent on this side of the pond.
Doctors make mistakes.
He hangs on to that S sound, which is something that certain American speakers that I've interacted with might do that if they're trying to convey a specific mood. I must say, those same Americans that came up to me when I first moved here would also say, I didn't know he was British at first. That is probably an even better sign than me not detecting it. So I think for Hugh Laurie, I couldn't give him anything other than a 10 out of 10.
He had like the high-vis jacket and the removable hat.
Was that for our good? Was that a right choice?
I'm gonna snatch that diploma and I'm going to
Gosh, I love that.
like hell out of here.
I'm sorry I talked over it, but I have seen all of Stranger Things, and I didn't know that some of them were British because I've watched like behind the scenes stuff and then they talked in their real accent. But I gotta say, this actor, I loved him so much on that show, and I wish he were there from the start. I wish he would have been a main cast. Unfortunately, he wasn't. Okay, let's go back and really listen to what they actually say.
He had like the high-vis jacket and the removable hat.
Was that for our good? Was that a right choice?
I'm gonna snatch that diploma and I'm going to run like hell out of here.
He says that there are monsters in Hawkins.
I have been absolutely obsessed with Stranger Things for
Me
10
too.
years because it's eerily
Not
reminiscent
10
of the
years.
American films that I watched growing up as a child in England. And it still shocks me to say this, but the 4 actors that I showed you just there are all British. And it doesn't matter how many times I've watched it, I don't question their Americanness. It's almost like they've been living here
And she's
their
a
whole
child
life.
and can
Actually,
do
in the case
that.
of a couple of the actors, they did move here as children. When you're a child, you're a sponge that soaks up the sounds of the people that you hang around with, I think, a bit more readily than we do as adults.
that's
I remember
true.
when I was at school on the playgrounds of Britain, and some of the people that I would pretend to be would be from the American films that I was obsessed with. And I think that might get to the heart of why British actors tend to be noted for their ability to adopt American accents better than American actors are in the reverse scenario.
Do you remember at the beginning of the video when I told you that American accent or faking an American accent would be way easier for me than trying to fake a British accent? I wouldn't even know where to start with faking a British accent. I think I wouldn't be able to do that at all. However, when it comes to American, and that's just exactly what he said there. I have consumed so much American media when I was a child, when I was little. I have watched American cartoons. Like, for example, I watched the Rugrats in English. I watched Johnny Bravo in English. I watched Dexter's Laboratory in English. I watched so many cartoons, and also I watched the WCW wrestling in English, in American English. So I grew up with the American English. So for me, it would be way, way easier to just mimic an American accent instead of a British one. Because I didn't really have examples when it comes to British accent. Yes, our teacher tried to teach us the British accent, which didn't really work, to be honest. We had her as a British speaker. She tried to do the British accent instead of the American one, but the influence from television, and also I watched MTV, I watched the music videos, I listened to American music, so the influence of the American English side was always way, way stronger than the one of the British English side. And that's why it would be easier for me, just like he explained for the actors. I guess it's the same for them.
But in this particular case, there are a couple of things that I was very impressed with. I love the way that Eddie's character successfully pronounces the word half.
A year and a half?
In my experience as an actor, that is a vowel sound that doesn't come particularly naturally to us.
Really?
And similarly with Holly's character, when she says Hawkins, she says Hawkins, except without that deep voice.
In Hawkins.
So, just as I would if I were reviewing the show itself, I'm going to have to give all 4 actors 10 out of 10. In the meantime, here are 6 American movies that were renamed for British audiences. You'll watch that video next. And until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye. We do that a lot as well, and I wonder why every single time. Why are we giving movies different names in German? And most of the times, at least for TV shows, it's really bad sometimes with TV shows when it comes to episode titles. We rename them in a way where they are spoilers. And I'm like, the English original title wouldn't have been a spoiler. Like, for example, with Doctor Who, it happened so many times for me. When I looked into the episode and I looked, or sometimes it was the other way around, where the German title wasn't a spoiler. And then I go to the BBC site and ta-da, spoilery title. I'm like, what the heck? Can we just agree on one thing? A title shouldn't spoil anything about the episode. Can we agree on that in both languages? Thank you very much. So I do know that we do that in Germany as well for movies. Yeah. Such a cool video. I really enjoyed that. Also, I love his demeanor. He's like this really serious guy and doing so many jokes at the same time. I really appreciate that. It makes me giggle every single time. So thank you so much for this video. I hope you had fun watching it together with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.